One of the most common passions people seek advice about is lust. There are many people who find themselves desperate to overcome lustful feelings, but feel helpless in the face of what can seem a powerful enemy. There's a great deal of advice and guidance that the Church Fathers have given us about this matter, so let's draw on their wisdom. First, some people excuse themselves by thinking that they live in a far more lecherous culture than men of the past. But many saints, and even the apostles, faced a pagan world that could be just as debauched and sexualized as ours. But they were victors, just as many are today. Christ's call to the unmarried, to a life of chastity, is not a call to anything that is beyond us. It isn't something beyond human capacity. And Christ himself promises to strengthen us in this struggle. Unmarried people are just as vulnerable to the passion of lust. Sexual relations within marriage are a blessing, and it's not a sin to desire a spouse if we are single. So let us think specifically about lust. As with any passion, it cannot satisfy either the soul or the body. Fornication or masturbation only stir up the desire for more sensation. They create an unfulfillable craving. The Fathers warn us that lust damages both the body and the soul. Like all passions, lust dwells in the soul, and when it's permitted to control our actions, it creates disorder within us. Therefore, our first realization must be that our battle with lust must be in both body and soul. Overindulgence of the body through food, drink, or sleeping creates an attitude within us that can incline us to lust. Fasting and physical labours are an important weapon in our battle with the passion. They help restrain the flesh. And even extravagant clothing, fancy perfumes, etc., can encourage lust to grow. We must limit the extent to which we accept the world's encouragement to pamper the body. Self-restraint is necessary both in the single and married life. If a married couple reduce their marriage to an excess of sexual activity, it will strip their union of its holy nature, a holy nature it was blessed to have by God. To achieve such self-restraint, it's important that we give even more emphasis to our restraint of the soul than of the body. When we hear of the Fathers telling us to guard the heart, they are identifying the need to be watchful for any kind of unclean thoughts. Christ warned us that if we permit lust to dwell in our hearts, we've committed adultery. It's so easy to conceal such thoughts from other people, but like Adam, who became aware of his nakedness before God, so too our hearts are open and visible to God. God permits us to be challenged by lust so that we may be victors in the struggle. We earn a crown when we overcome the passion. So we mustn't allow our awareness of temptation to upset us or rob us of our peace. We must see these temptations as an opportunity to struggle for God and to conquer the passions through God's help. But one feature of modern life that does create a new danger is the constant attack on us through television, music, pictures, and all the other forms of media we encounter. So much of it is deliberately designed to provoke sexual feelings. And within modern fiction, there's a constant portrayal of debased and sinful sexual relations as though they were normal and good. Guarding the heart means becoming aware of what we are allowing to enter us. It means avoiding those images and stimulations that stir the passions. Lust is different to many other passions in that the fathers say if we are angry towards someone, for example, we should not avoid them, but seek them out and be reconciled with them. With lust, it's different. We must make every effort to completely avoid everything that arouses this passion. As the psalmist says, we must smash the infants against the rocks. That is, we must destroy the passions at their very birth within us. When we recognize the first sensations of desire, we must turn away, cry out to God. Once we give ourselves even a little, we may be lost. Once we allow ourselves to enjoy the sensations even for a moment, they're given a foothold in our soul. And once the infant grows, he may become a mighty warrior, capable even of defeating us. We should note too that just as pandering to the body's desires can stir up lust, so can different passions, when allowed to run free, also stir up lust. Indulgence of the passions predisposes us to lust. Anger and pride, when allowed to fill us, corrupt us, and the soul becomes vulnerable to other passions. Judgment of others, irritability, anger, these all act as fuel to enable lust to burn in the soul. Finally, we should remember that each person's struggle with particular passions is unique to them. And while some people overcome a passion quickly, others may struggle on for years or even until the end of their life. But it is the genuine struggle that God wants from us. This is the fire in which our soul is purified. If we don't struggle, the soul remains polluted and becomes worthless. It is God who uproots the passions from our soul, but he commands us to fight with him. Even great saints fell, some many times, but they didn't lose hope, they didn't despair, and they didn't run from the battle. But we must not excuse our falls or consider them lightly. Though the devil cannot drag us into hell, he knows how to trip us, how to distract us, and how to fool us. But the devil also knows that Christ is the victor, and that Christ offers to share his victory with all of us who struggle for him.